Yeah. We all have our celebrity heroes that we wish we could meet, right? I mean, everybody does. Even I do. Except, sadly, most of mine are dead. Lennon, obviously. Andy Kaufman. I gotta love Andy Kaufman. Like, real talk here, folks. He is part of why I have my channel the way I have it. Yeah. Yeah, so I've just let you all in on the joke, I guess, kind of. Yeah. But anyways, I guess it's also, but not all of them are. I mean, there's Danny DeVito. I would love to know what it was like working with the actual Andy Kaufman, as well as Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman. Have y'all ever seen the movie Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey as Andy fucking Kaufman? And fucking, what was it, Paul Giamatti as his buddy slash writer slash alternate, Tony Clifton, Bob Zamuda. Like, seriously, it's a brilliant movie. It is. I mean, he's brilliant, though. That's the thing. Andy Kaufman was a genius. I also think a little autistic. I don't know. I mean, ever since I've been learning about myself and my own journey with that part's actually real. I just exaggerate. Yeah. Anyways, but I've noticed that a lot of them have, a lot of the people that I really admire have, like some form of autism. Especially Andy Kaufman. Holy motherfucking shit, dude. Gotta love the guy, though. Kaufman was a genius, and I mean, Jim Carrey as well is a genius. Though honestly, I think that his best work is, in the movies where he's not quite so over the top, so cartoonish. I mean, it's great when you're a kid. It was great when I was a kid. I love fucking Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask. BARTY. Why? 'Cause I gotta. Yeah, I don't do that very good. I had a point to this. I swear to God, I had a point to this. Yeah, I wanted to ask Danny DeVito what it was like to work with both the real Andy Kaufman and what it was like to work with Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman. Like, I would love to get like a compare-contrast here. And I mean, I would probably have to tell him, like, look, don't sugarcoat this shit for me, alright? You don't gotta. If Andy Kaufman was a dick, then Andy Kaufman was a dick. If Jim Carrey was a dick, then Jim Carrey was a dick. If he's still a dick, he's still a dick. Whatever. Like, I mean, I admire these people for their talent, not who they actually are in real life. Well, no, okay, Andy Kaufman, sort of, I do. And I'm trying to think about any other ones. Not Lennon. Neil Gaiman? I admire Gaiman for who he was. DeForest Kelly, Leonard Nimoy. I actually met Leonard Nimoy once upon a time. I did, yeah. I met Leonard Nimoy. I met Spock. I was like 18. It was for my 18th birthday. I had gone to the Pasadena Star Trek convention, which was right around the same time as my 18th birthday. And I also got to meet Will Wheaton. He was awesome. I love Will Wheaton. I will never not love Will Wheaton. He's great. Okay, so most Star Trek people are, except for a few. We all know who those ones are. But anyways, yeah, I got to meet him, and he was really cool. And it wasn't like it was for a question-answer segment, and I was in line, and they cut him off right after me. I was supposed to be the last one, and Shatner was being Shatner, and he was just in a hurry to get his shit, like, whatever. He was supposed to get some stupid fucking award or something. And Leonard Nimoy, to his character, Leonard Nimoy took a look at me and was like, no, you know what? No, we've got time for one more. And he actually engaged me in a conversation. What we talked about, I don't remember. I mean, honestly, I was kind of on cloud nine, having been able to talk with fucking Leonard fucking Nimoy. Like, I mean, come on. And Shatner, too. He was kind of a shithead. But, I mean, it was still cool. I still got to have a conversation with them that was beyond the simple question-answer thing. I mean, it was like a good 5-6 minutes of talking with them. I don't even know if I think I did ask a question, but it was like something vague, and I was just so completely starstruck, you know what I mean? Yeah, starstruck at the Star Trek convention. No, but I was starstruck. It was a thing. Leonard Nimoy was really cool. He was one of those that I admire as a human being as well. Neil Gaiman, definitely. which it kind of fucks me up that he's got all those allegations against him. As a survivor of similar shit as what he's accused of doing, you know, I have a hard time reconciling that with the image of Neil Gaiman that I have in my head. Because I mean, that's another celebrity that I greatly admire that I got to meet. Another one of my heroes that I got to meet, and you know, up until recently, I admired him both for his talent and for like who he was as a human being. And no, he was really great. And I got to meet him once. There's even a picture of me and him in my army jacket. Because that's another thing that's just me. You know, the character is just like an exaggeration of me. That's my costume thing. But anyways, no, I got to meet Neil Gaiman. He was really cool, you know, and I kept calling him Mr. Gaiman because, well, that's how it's brought up. You know, I mean, I'm what the hell are we called? I'm not a Gen X. I'm the one after Gen X. Gen Y, and spell that W-H-Y. Gen Y. You know, or a millennial maybe? I don't fucking know. I was born in '85. All right, I'm hitting 40 here at the end of March. So I mean, anyway, yeah, I kept calling him Mr. Gaiman. He looked at me and dead ass. I think Neil will suffice, is what he said to me. And it was like, holy shit. I get to be on a first-name basis with one of my heroes. This is fantastic. It was the coolest experience of my life. And I mean, at the time, things were really shit for me. You know, because this was right after my great-grandparents had died. And they had died, like, within a few days of each other. Yeah, in December 2008. My great-grandfather on December 5th, 2008. Then my great-grandma followed on December 8th, 2008. I was very close with them. Like I was with Lady. I was very close with my Bubba and Dita. Bubba being my great-grandma, Dita being my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather came from Yugoslavia, so you spell Bubba, B-A-B-A. Think like Baba Yaga. Like the Eastern European, like, witch in the forest who had the house on the chicken lakes. I think she was in a Miyazaki movie too, wasn't she? Didn't Miyazaki use her? I don't know, I admire him too. Hideo Miyazaki. One of the, I mean, honestly, he's like Disney level animator. There aren't very many of them. There's Disney, obviously, you know, Bluth, Don Bluth. I mean, come on, a lot of my generation especially will be familiar with Don Bluth. Also, Ralph Bakshi is one of those as well. Oh God, Bakshi was brilliant. Honestly, the only version of The Hobbit that I've ever enjoyed, and this includes the books, sorry, was the Ralph Bakshi animated Hobbit movie. But I loved his animation. His animation is just absolutely brilliant. And if you ever get a chance, obviously watch like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, whatever, Fritz the Cat. But make sure to watch fucking Wizards. Alright, Wizards is one of the absolute best animated films I have ever seen. Seriously, like, God, Bakshi was brilliant. And I mean, he had this very, like, heavy metal sort of, like, the movie, which was based off the magazine, feel to his work, which I really appreciated anyways, because I've always loved heavy metal anyway. The movie was great, and because of the movie, I discovered the magazine, and they're bringing it back! They're bringing back heavy metal. I'm totally here for this, too. I am so stoked about that. It's gonna be some shit, man. Yeah, because I mean, like, heavy metal was it was groundbreaking for the time, honestly, and it introduced us to a lot of, here in the US, to a lot of amazing European artists, including, God, what's his name, Mobius? Oh, he did a lot of cyberpunk sci-fi shit, and it was great. Love it. But, yeah, so, hey, you're getting to hear me ramble on. Oh, I'm a rambling man. No, wait, that's Traveling Man, that's Ricky Nelson. Who did Rambling Man? Was that Neil Young? Was it Harry? It wasn't Harry Nelson, right? No, Nelson was, everybody's talking at me. Actually, interesting thing about Harry Nelson is he was good friends with Lennon. And he and John, actually, during Lennon's last weekend, had gone to see the Smothers Brothers and got kicked out for heckling the Smothers Brothers. Who the fuck heckles the Smothers Brothers? Well, I mean, I guess Lennon and Nelson, but that was also like the only time that he and Lennon and McCartney had got together on a record. Okay, so they didn't do anything. Everybody was fucked up on, you know. I mean, this was the 70s, And this was the 70s. Everyone was on coke, so they were all, there's a bootleg even of that session called A Toot Miss Norton 74, and on it you can even hear John offering, is it Stevie Wonder? Yes, it was Stevie Wonder, John Lennon offering Stevie Wonder a toot. It was a thing. Needless to say, like, there's fucking no music on this record at all. None. No music. And it's only interesting as kind of a curio. This was a weird thing that happened. And also because it was the one time, like, since the Beatles broke up, that John and Paul appeared on a record together. Like, it was supposed to be an album, I guess, but I mean, again, everybody was fucked up on, coke, probably lots and lots of pills, booze, grass, acid, I don't know, what all the shit people did in the 70s. They did a lot of shit in the 70s. I mean, it was a very boring time. The internet didn't exist yet. I mean, what else were they gonna do? They didn't have VR like we have now. They didn't have internet like we have now. I mean, they had sort of a thing, that connected up, like, unis and hospitals and, like, army bases and military base shit, but, yeah. What else are they gonna do? But, lots and lots of drugs. There's also the golden age of porn, quote-unquote golden age. When movies like Behind the Green Door, Deep Throat, etc. came out. That's a genuine interest of mine, is, like, the history of adult movies in America, going back from, like, the like, little film strips and, like, the blue movies that people would, like, smuggle around because they were illegal. I didn't even realize that until, God, the first time I read, oh, fucking hell. It was a Raymond Chandler novel. Oh, Christ. The Big Sleep? I want to say it was The Big Sleep. I want to say it was the first Philip Marlowe novel. The Big Sleep. That had, like, that touched on that. It was part of the MacGuffin in the beginning, I think. It's been a while. I haven't read that in a while. I should read that again. I love those books. I do. Chandler, Dashiell Hammett. I have, like, the Maltese Falcon. That was a gift from someone who was very close to me, an ex of mine. Yeah, I've had a few of those. Actually, she's, like, the one that I still talk to. Because she wasn't horrible. We were better as friends. That's how that went. But anyways, and Mickey Spillane, obviously. I have the third volume of a 4-volume omnibus set. Yeah, the third volume. That makes sense. It's just typical for me. Never do anything the proper way when I could do it ass backwards. Yeah. But yeah. So I'm just babbling at this point. I don't know. I'm trying this thing here. A little bit of a real me. There's also a lot of, like, exaggeration. Refreshing pause. Gotta love it. Coca-Cola. What was it? I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach myself to sing in harmony too, honestly. But, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, so there you get to listen to me babble about shit for some reason. What even? I'm sober now, right now. But anyway, yeah. So that's the thing, I guess. I just prattle on like an asshole. I do love, like, stuff, though. Andy Kaufman is obviously, like, one of my big influences. I'm watching the Man on the Moon movie for, like, the millionth time. One of my favorite movies, and it's an underrated biopic. Jim Carrey did a phenomenal job, I think, in the film. Like, to the point where if I watch, like, actual Taxi or something, maybe one of Kaufman's, like, specials or anything with actual Andy Kaufman, directly after watching the movie, it's kind of jarring in a way that isn't so with most other biopics. I can only think of a couple other ones that are like that for me. One of them being Lennon Naked, starring Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor, as John Lennon, and the other one being Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix as I hear the train coming. Fucking hell, Johnny Cash as Johnny Cash. Those are the other two that, like, they get me like that. And I can't wait for those. God, there's the Brian Epstein biopic coming out this year, and there's like 4 biopics for each of the Beatles, and I think there's even going to be one just for the Beatles themselves as the band. Can't wait for that. Anyways, folks, that's it. I don't even know I'm recording this, honestly. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. Whatever. If you do, you do. Peace and love.